Welcome to the Antisocial Club. This is episode 7. Thank you for tuning in. My name's Robert.
My name's Giovanni.
My name's Kevin.
Fabio.
I'm Marco.
And this week, I don't know, I'm just going to talk about what we're going to do. It's going to, next week, hopefully, or not, upcoming episodes, we can actually have video. I know a lot of people have been asking for it. Right now, we're just trying to get the gear, like a couple more mics so we can all sound better. But here's our guest, Kevin.
Hi.
Kevin.
The harmonizing was A.
Alright, Kevin, how did you meet everybody here?
Well, let's start off with Marco.
Oh man, me and Kevin met in junior high, right? Junior high in physics class.
No. Junior year.
Junior year in physics class. He sat next to me, and I was like, "Oh look, it's that kid Kevin. I always see him around school with long hair. Like, he's pretty weird. I like him." And I was like, "We're gonna be great friends after that," and then we did.
Man, I love physics class.
Mr. Holman was A1.
That's who we were trying to remember last time.
Oh, Mr. Holman?
It was Mr. Holman.
Because we had, in the last podcast, we were talking about, okay, what's that physics teacher that would jump on the tables, run down the halls?
Mr.
And
Holman.
we couldn't think of it.
Remember Mr. Holman had that, my best friend sign for the next door teacher he had, just kept on pointing at her.
The French teacher?
The French teacher.
Oh, so yeah, I was telling you, it was
It was
next to the
funny.
French teacher. I know.
Yeah.
I remember the dude.
Yeah, that crazy dude.
Remember that one time he had that spikes on the rope from the ceiling?
I remember he had spikes hanging from the ceiling, and then he was on the show that no matter where I dropped this, it will stop right there in front of your face. Wants to be my guess. And I forgot who went up. It was one of the girls that went up. She almost peed herself. Best teacher, 10 out of 10.
But Marco and I, we did it, and we took it like champs.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah,
peed
we're
a little,
screaming
but
inside.
we took it like champ.
I went to the bathroom afterwards.
I knew how to hold it.
Yeah, but no, that's how me and Kevin got along. We just knew each other from physics, and we got closer there. And then we were hallway buddies sometimes.
Good times.
Good times.
So, how'd you meet Fabian?
Well, I just met him today. I met him when I walked into this room.
First impressions.
Yeah.
And I was
scared.
like, wow. What a small being.
Literally, compared to everybody around.
Not to me, I'm pretty...
You're not anorexic like I am.
What did you
You're
think
not
about?
anorexic, Nico.
I'm being dramatic.
Oh my
okay?
god.
Oh my
I
god.
apologize if this is offending, but that you get an image.
Wow.
What do you think about Robert?
Robert? Well,
Actually, I met him before.
yeah, we did.
We did.
I don't
remember.
I know
you.
I've
Cool.
seen you before.
But we, it's just
Just like brief.
what's up? That was it.
That was good,
Yeah.
man. You drinking water? Yeah, me too.
Staying hydrated, bro.
Pretty hot out there. You like this heat?
No, it wasn't like that. It was just like, that was it. Like, the look.
How
Yeah.
long was the eye contact?
It was,
Too
pretty,
long.
it was pretty
Too
long.
long.
That's gay.
Is that contact where you're like, should we talk or should we not talk? Okay.
I feel that.
I feel like y'all looked at each other like, wow, I like his shirt.
No, at the time I had my long hair.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh, they were twinning.
But like, hey, you know.
Yeah, I
when you have-
definitely did look at you and I was like, damn. That dude over there also has long hair.
I thought
It's that,
it was
it's that
it was
interaction, like when you have a beard, like, yeah, that dude got a beard too. Like that moment where you're like, yeah, he has long hair. Yeah, dope.
Oh.
Share
Yeah.
the comment.
What'd you think about Giovanni?
Funny. I don't know. He looks familiar. He looks like someone I've known before. So.
Afterlife.
Yeah.
My previous life knew this guy.
Wow, dude. I don't know. It's just, I don't think we ever. No, we never had.
Did you ever go to Sterling?
Yeah, I did go to Sterling.
I don't think I've ever seen you.
I went to Sterling. No, I haven't seen
How long
you
did
there.
you go to Sterling?
All four.
Oh,
Me
you-
or Jiwa?
I mean, you were there the whole time.
Yeah, I was there the whole time.
I was there for
Yeah, he
two.
was there the whole time. Until you moved to Peter Highlands, right?
Yeah.
For like the last few months.
Yeah, I left in October last
Yeah.
year.
Oh, never mind that.
I was there for a full year and a year and a half. So June,
About 2
Yeah.
years.
I was the whole 4 years.
Ditto.
Well, today we're gonna talk about musical backgrounds and stuff, like where our like music comes from, like why do we listen to the music we listen to. We're talking about this today because like music helps with anxiety. Like we had Marco for Marco's and music. I think it was episode 4. So today we're just gonna talk about musical backgrounds, and I hope you like it. So let's start with Marco, because Marco has talked about his musical background before.
With me, my music background, I grew up with mostly heavy metal. First band I ever liked and listened to was, of course, Slipknot. It was it was a subliminal verses.
Volume
Subliminal
3.
verses.
Yeah, volume 3.
Yeah.
And
3.
like I felt
3.
3. Tres.
Putting up 4
That's a
fingers.
very
Leches. No, but the very first song I fell in love with was "The Blister Exists" because of this one drum line that da 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 da. Da, 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 da. And then as soon as that beat comes on, I have my shoebox ready, my pencils. I'd be like, yes! I'm in the band now! Going at it. And then next it would be Duality, of course. And I was like,
Push my fingers into my
like,
eyes.
my mom made me mad. She took away my toys. and then,
Straight flexing.
flexing. And then this was all when I was in kindergarten. I was 4 years old listening to this, and every time I asked the little kids, like, "Oh, you listen to this song?" They're like, "No, what are you? what are you listening to? Are you okay?"
Are you from this earth?
He's a
Like
demon.
people looked at me weird because I listened to that kind of type of music. Like I listened to Black Label Society back then. It was to Pantera, Slipknot, Metallica. It was from Iron Maiden, Megadeth, all oldies like that. And it just I really fell in love with it ever since, and the love is still growing, basically.
And then, so how does like this music help you? You know,
It puts me back into my roots when I was happy when I was a kid.
When
kids.
Yeah, when I was a kid, when I was happy.
When I was happy.
That was when it had like.
But you said that like you felt like people were judging you for the music.
Yeah, people judge me a lot for the music. That's why I kept that side to myself. Like I'll be like, "Oh, you listen to that? That's cool." And like they just ask me what I listen to. I'm like, "Oh, I just listen to stuff."
Yeah, that's definitely why I got closer to you. Now that I think about it, I asked you about what music you were into, and then once you showed me your playlist, I was like, "Holy crap, this guy's actually like into some good shit."
No,
like,
but
this dude knows what he's looking at.
Do you remember what kind of questions or like what comments they would say?
yeah, they were like, "You listen to that stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah." It was like, "Well, how do you know what they're saying? They're screaming a lot, and you really know what they're saying." I'm like, "Well."
That's how I feel internally.
That's the inner me.
My 4-year-old me was like, "My mom took my tours." No, but
And I was mad.
but they always they always look at me weird looks because this song, like back then, there was like, Justin Bieber is like on the come up and stuff like that, or it was like I forgot what those play. It was mostly pop songs that all my friends listened to.
Katy Perry.
It was probably like Katy Perry,
and
Justin
stuff like
Bieber.
that. Yeah,
Was that girl Kesha?
Yeah,
Kesha was hot back then,
Oh,
but
Lady Gaga.
But then, like, I always kept that heavy metal side to myself because people will make fun of me about it and they'll judge me because they always think that I'm, like, weird or mean.
Okay, so from your old self, what you listened to back then, what do you listen to now? Like, I know you listen to Joji and stuff like more like relaxing stuff. I showed you some mellow songs.
Yeah, well, of course, my music taste expanded and I got more intrigued to the other songs, like calmer songs, like of course Joji and the songs that you showed me. But then also my heavy metal side, it got a lot bigger.
Yeah.
Like as I grew, it got more heavier throughout the time, and like it went from Slipknot to like now I listen to like more of like a behemoth type of thing, black metal, dark metal, thrasher metal, a lot of that stuff now, other than like headbangers like Slipknot,
Right.
and all that.
Awesome. It's a good adventure. I mean, I understand, cause like when I used to listen to metal, people were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
It's
Get away from
awful.
me.
No,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be
Be
listening
gone."
to that."
like they give you that look, like when they look down
yeah.
upon you,
like, oh, you're one of those people. Yeah, I understand that.
yeah, that's exactly what I get. Like, oh, you one of those? I'm like, yeah,
It's all me.
It's all me.
As bad as that sounds, but it's like, yeah, I am.
For some reason, like, I can never relate with you guys. Probably because it was really obvious with me, because I always wore those, like, really brutal band t-shirts all the time. So, like, I would just, like, never understand how people would be like, oh, you're one of those people that listen to metal. Well, it was obvious with me, so everyone just already knew.
Like, I can remember myself, because every time I head, I always do, like, the signature drum they do in The Blister Exists.
Mm-hmm.
I always do that, and they always ask me where I get that from. Like, oh, Slipknot. And the first thing they ask me, what is that? So, oh, it's a heavy metal band. I'm like, oh, you listen to that? I'm like, yeah.
Or you would get, what is heavy metal?
Oh, what is heavy metal?
Let me show you, and then they'd be terrified.
Yeah. But the first thing is obvious what they said. Like, how can you hear them? Like, how can you understand what they're saying?
Bonnie.
Hey, man.
Well, but then again, if you have an interest for it, you're gonna learn it.
Yeah, and then I always, because my dad's side of the family, they introduced me to heavy metal because my uncles play guitar and bass, and that's when I also fell in love with guitar and bass. My uncle had like a chrome Black Label Society bass, and I fell in love with that. It was so badass.
So that was just instilled in, you know, basically from childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I get you. Fabian.
In a Spanish household, you'll never get away from Mexican music. So, of course, me being Hispanic, it's Mexican music for me all the way. But I also grew up because my mom, she loved a variety of everything. She went from, of course, the traditional Mexican music, rancheros, norteños. Well, not really norteños. She didn't really like it, but she was open-minded to it. And she did, like, the Backstreet Boys, like Whitney Houston. She loved New Kids on the Block. Prince, Marvin Gaye, The Supremes, you know, Donna Summer. She listened to a bit of everything from, like, 50s wise because of my grandmother. My grandmother as well. She listened to everything.
Anything for Selena.
Literally, no. But because of my grandmother as well. So it was my grandmother plus my mom who was influenced by her, and then me. Like, I'm so well into music. I love it so much. I was in orchestra for, 6th grade from, 7 years?
Still didn't get good.
No, not at all. No. But, like, I was in orchestra. I've always loved to dance, too. So music for me has always been a good thing. But that's another thing. But, I basically grew up kind of listening to all sorts of things. I mean, even like with my older siblings, they listen to like Bone Thugs and Harmony. They listen to Biggie Smalls. They listen to Notorious B.I.G.
It's the same person.
It's the same person.
Anyway, they listen to Tupac.
I was ready for it. I was like,
Tupac and like who else? And then they would go like for SPM and yes.
Tupac is still alive.
Don't listen to this, man. Anyways,
Stop
X
it.
is still
Anyway.
Conspiracy.
So
they're
like
both in Cuba hugging each other.
Yeah, and then well, my dad, like he would listen. He was a heavy metal person as well. So like Marco, you know. So I'm aware. Even though I don't really listen to a lot of heavy metal or rock. I mean, I think there's a difference to it. But anyways, so like I know AC/DC, Scorpion. You know, I'm aware. What?
There is a difference! There is a difference! I can continue.
I just said I didn't know.
Alright, so next on the person.
I didn't say there was.
Continue.
But anyway, so growing up for me, I mean, I listened to a bit of everything. My dad had his own things, my mom had her own things, and I got screwed and got everything, really. So I'm open-minded. I'm an open-minded person.
So how did, from your old you, how did you cope with whatever you had going on with that music? Where did it put you?
Well, then, I mean, it was much simpler. When you're a kid, you don't really realize things.
Now,
as if you're
when
older,
you listen to it now.
When I listen to it now, I mean, yeah, you get the memories, as Marco said, like, you know. Like right now, if I can listen to like old Tejano music, I mean, I think of back when I'm in my hometown with my mom, my dad, my family, and then we had a family friend as well. So it would just... They would have their beers and whatnot, their bottles. They would drink, and me, my brothers, and my siblings.
So regular Mexican party.
Regular Mexican party. Like, you know, I mean, it brings back so much memories.
Con el beaner.
No, Marco.
I mean, yeah, like when I listen to all of that now, which is still Robert. I mean, you've got to.
Wait, so you don't have any new music that you listen to?
Well, new music now would be Sam Smith because I didn't listen to Sam Smith with in the Lonely Hour. That album, I didn't listen to him.
I was such a fanboy.
Yeah, that album,
boy.
I didn't actually listen to until Robert. Like when I started coming over here. Because Robert, that's when you were like, oh yeah, Sam Smith, and then
his dad,
his brother too. Like they both listened to Sam Smith. I only knew Sam Smith like from a little bit of songs here and there, but
now you into
now I'm too.
My mom listened to Nickelback.
Even Nickelback too. I mean, I remember Nickelback from the first Spider-Man movie because they had. I don't remember the name of the song actually. Was it that one?
Oh, the Spider-Man song. Remember the Spider-Man song he did?
Itsy spot. No, I'm just joking.
Michael goes to be like, what?
I mean, but now it's like Sam Smith. I even listen to George Ezra because of Robert. Milky Chance. Is it Milky Chance? Yeah, Milky Chance. I didn't know of them before until Robert showed me them. Bozzy, yeah. Well, Bozzy's new, but
you listen to him a lot.
No. Well, no, his new album, it came out I think April or May.
You still listen to him a lot.
Well, yeah, but that's because I barely discovered him, so I'm like I'm still into that transaction and whatnot.
You so.
Next.
No, but yeah, for me it's. Again, I'm open-minded to whatever, really. I mean, I'll tell you if I don't like it. If I do like it, I'll be like, yeah, I love it, and gone from there, really.
You're a brave soldier.
I know. They were so ready for me to move on. They were so ready for me to move on. It was just...
No, it's not.
I'm done.
No,
I'm just joking.
I'm curious, like, since you're growing up in the Spanish household, I know I experienced this a lot. When you discover new music and you're trying to explain music to like your parents, they're like, "Oh, what is this? Well, you should be listening to this."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So like, has that happened to you before? And like,
well, with my mom because she was so open-minded. No, like me and my mom, we kind of know what we like. We kind of have like most of the same interests. So if there's a song that I like, she'll listen to it and she'll be like, "Okay, I see why you like it." Like with my dad. He's real stubborn. He likes his own thing, and he's just very set with that. He's not.
You can't listen to him. You have to listen to mine.
It's either his way or like no way kind of deal, like So I mean, if I try to show him Sam Smith, he'll be like, "That's too sad. That's too depressing." He'll question me and be like, "What's going on?" And I'm just like, "Nothing. I just like it." Like I mean, yeah, Sam Smith is a sad little thing, but. He does it with passion. So it's okay.
Depression. The one I'm really looking for is Kevin.
Yeah,
I know
we barely
meeting each other, so like I want to know. Where do you learn music? Like, how do you get into the music you're in today?
I mean, my earliest memory for me, like listening to music, would have to be like obviously from my parents would be like Rigo Tobar, Topaz, Grupo Mojado.
Oh yeah, like Grupo
Mojado. Really old stuff like that. And then
that's tradition.
Going on from that, when I was like 4, 5, 6, I would just listen to anything that my brother would listen to, and he was always into like 50 Cent, Eminem, Lil Jon.
Early 2000 rap.
Yeah, mid 2000 rap. And reggaeton, and I was really into the Grease soundtrack when I was 5. Like the entire soundtrack,
like
the movie, yeah.
Electrifying. You're the one that I want.
I would listen to that constantly.
You're the one that I want.
Okay,
I don't like it. No.
Okay, sing it.
It wasn't until like I was 8 where I started like developing my own personal taste. I think what happened first was my brother came up to me one day and he was like, "Hey, listen to this like crazy rock music, right?" And it was Slipknot. It was People Equal Shit by Slipknot. And I think that was like the first thing that like
cleared the table for you.
Yeah, that like broke the ice. And from there I would y'all ever heard of like the illegal bootlegging. It was kind of like LimeWire, but it was called like Arius.
Thanks, you
No.
gave yourself away. No.
Yeah, it's a-
I know
it's gone.
LimeWire, and then they came
Yeah.
out with FrostWire, and then it came out with what, BearShare,
I don't know.
something like that. So
It was like a bootleg. It was a boneless LimeWire that my brother would use. And I remember I would want to watch Naruto episodes, so I tried downloading Naruto episodes out of there. But what I got was Naruto AMVs, and it was like, that's how I got into Linkin Park
Oh man.
and System of a Down, and like just a bunch of new metal
Yeah.
stuff. And then from there, I also really liked Viva La Bam. If y'all ever seen that show.
Viva La Bam.
Bam.
Oh yeah, that
From
one
Bam
Bam
Margera.
Margera. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
the
Yeah,
one with
yeah.
Bam
Oh, okay.
Margera. And like I was really into the goth aesthetic, so I really got into goth rock, like the 69 Eyes
Yeah.
and Murder Dolls.
Oh.
I also really got into Gwar. From
Gwar?
Yeah, I got a lot of
Gwar. I love Gwar. Actually,
Gore.
a
I
lot of-
remember Gore.
I
was
got a lot
what
of
his name? Uterus Arungus.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Rest in
Yeah.
peace,
Rest in peace.
But yeah, that's how really I got my first taste in music.
How did you the music you listen to now? How did that progress to this?
Oh my god. I'd have to tell you everything else.
Go for it. We got time.
Go for
Yeah.
it.
Go
Go
for
for
it.
it.
You're good.
Jump in.
I mean, whenever I was like, I turned 11, I really got into like the emo culture.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Such as
I wanted to be like a stereotypical like emo kid.
like the
Tease,
Black
like,
Parade,
scene kids.
like
Teased
MCR.
hair.
Nah, I wasn't into that kind of stuff. I was like, oh, whatever. Like the the big emo stuff is like not cool for me. I was into like I've always been into like the more underground stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess not. How do you call those? Like, I don't know how to describe it.
You know.
Those
Those-
guys.
Those guys.
Those guys who like, oh, anything that's big is crap. You know, type.
Oh, like hipster type of thing.
Yeah, I guess hipster.
Yeah,
Hipster.
type, in a type of way you could
Yeah.
say. Yeah, I can see that.
And I remember when I was like 11, 12, I was really into Blood on the Dance Floor.
Oh.
And like,
No,
I don't,
no,
yeah,
no.
I know how people always like regret that stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I liked it. I don't fucking care what you think about it.
Blood on the dance floor.
But
Yeah.
don't
you're
know
gonna
that?
enjoy it.
Oh,
I think of Michael Jackson.
yeah, that's how.
That's an album.
That's
Yeah.
how
Yeah, I know
thought.
that. That sounds like Blood on the dance.
Blood on a
No,
Dance
there's-
Floor was like what?
Like,
You can't say it was post-hardcore because it wasn't
No, it was-
post-hardcore. But it was in
It was-
that same like general area, sort of. It's weird. It's like a weird pop
And
metal
EDM.
fuse.
Okay.
EDM.
EDM type of thing.
When you said Blood on the Dance Floor, I was like, do you mean Sean Kingston's version? Dance floor?
Okay.
No.
I'm gonna need you to stop.
The music-
Stop the door.
By Blood on the Dance Floor, I mean the music group.
For any of those.
Let me tell you.
Disclaimer.
Let me. Okay, but my
I
question
fell
is,
in. Yeah.
who got you into Blood on the Dance Floor? Because the way I got into Blood on the Dance Floor is because like I listened to like Mice and Men and like around like Crown the Empire, and people were like, "Oh, you should listen to Blood on the Dance Floor. You probably like it since you're in this general vicinity of music." How did you get to know Blood on the Dance Floor? Or is it just something you found?
How to be scene tutorials. I would watch those all the fucking time when I was 11. When I was like 11. And I was like, damn, I really want to be a scene kid. And that's what, like,
Was it that,
all I
that
wanted
lady?
to be.
Use it from the stomach. You gotta do it from the stomach. You ever seen that lady?
no.
The singing tutorial? You gotta do it from the stomach. And I'm there just yelling out.
How to be. I'm gonna be sing
No.
today.
I would be watching all these, like, how to be seen videos uploaded from, like, 2008 and shit. And, like, the bands they would list would be, like, Black Veil Brides, Blood on the Dance Floor,
Pierce the Veil.
Broken Side. I don't know if y'all ever heard of Dot Dot Curve,
I heard about them.
Millionaires, all that
I heard Millionaires.
really scene shit.
Yeah, me
Think
too,
of
Bruno
Bruno
Mars.
It's Billionaire. The song is Billionaire.
I know.
Oh man.
Oh, and Jeffree Star when he made music.
Oh,
When Jeffree started making music.
I saw him live when I was 12.
What?
I never seen so.
hold the phone.
What's up?
Was he good?
I mean, I enjoyed it.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Money's worth. Money's worth. Oh man.
I didn't know what a drag queen was before then. And let me tell you, when I walked into that venue, I was like, what the f... I was like, what is going on?
It's an eye-opening
Oh my
experience.
god, if y'all could see his face, that was
You're
funny.
gonna go
My
talk to the
12-year-old
lady.
face.
You're gonna go talk up to the lady like, hey, ma'am, can you help me? You're like,
What
yeah,
you
sure,
need?
what you need?
Yeah.
Mom!
I got sexually harassed at that show, dude. I'm not joking. I was getting like a Coke or a soda from the bar, and like these two random drunk girls just like came from behind me and just like grabbed my ass. And I was like,
Wait a
Yeah.
minute.
Let me tell you something.
Was
Let me
that
tell
before
you.
your prime time? Were you a little scared, or it was just like more?
yeah, I was still like, you know,
What
I got
was
these
that?
two grown ass women groping my 12-year-old ass.
911, what's your emergency?
Yeah, I should have reported those hoes. Now that I think about it.
Okay, but were they cute though?
Well, they
I
were
don't
drunk.
fucking remember. They were drunk, that's for sure. They had drinks in their hands.
I don't think they were women.
I
so,
don't think.
No, those were obvious. There was definitely
Yeah.
women.
so, you're scarred.
Yeah.
You can say that.
Yeah, I saw Jeffree Star and Blood on the Dance Floor the same night.
Oh man,
That must have been an experience.
It was.
it must have been
I
an
went with my
experience.
mom too.
Oh
So
man.
it was an experience for her especially. She's like,
Well, so was that like your first concert?
yeah, that was
probably?
my first concert actually.
Oh man.
And then I started getting into like metalcore, like Motionless in White, Asking Alexandria. type
yes.
Shit.
Yeah, Motionless
Hell
in
yeah,
White. I
boy.
still listen to that.
Nah, I don't like the new stuff.
No.
I don't know. I listen to
don't
old
either.
stuff.
The old stuff like
Yeah,
Creatures.
I don't listen to. I don't listen to new stuff.
I see them in concert too. They're
Yeah,
pretty
so-
good.
They're coming to Austin. I want to go see it.
To Austin?
And Out of Bounds. Oh, you know, out of it's out of
Austin City Limits.
Austin City Limits. That's right. They're coming over there.
They're doing that?
Yeah, they're doing that.
I want to go.
It's October. It's November. No,
It's a-
October.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
October.
whole weekend.
It's a whole weekend. And
It's two, isn't it?
Two whole weekends.
2 weekends. And I know it's gonna be like Metallica be playing. It's gonna be
Childish Gambino.
Childish Gambino.
Mosey Snudney's gonna be there.
Khalid. Khalid's gonna be there.
Oh my god.
And
that's
then
great.
Motionless in White is gonna be in there.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna be a
wanna
lot of
see
them,
them.
man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care for any of the artists, but I would go because it sounds like a good time.
No, I'm pretty sure. And me,
Just
Maybe
an
next year.
And then me and
there'll
my-
be better bands.
me and my girlfriend want to go there for a year.
It's not
anniversary.
mostly bands. It's mostly like they fuse everything.
Artists.
Yeah, they fuse
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
It's for everyone.
It's awesome.
Oh, like every kind of genre.
Yeah, every
Yeah,
kind of.
like one day you can have rap, and well, 1 hour you can have rap. The next one you can have Motionless in White. So
Yeah.
The next
Okay.
folk songs.
yeah, I mean they had
Yeah.
Mumford and Son one year.
Yeah.
I mean, but they're not
Both-
folk.
They say they're not folk, but they can't fool us.
They can't folk.
Okay, now what I want to ask you, because I don't know if you do or not. Please don't fall on the chair. Do you
What's up?
like? Do you say that? Do you listen to Cannibal Corpse, or do you say like
I used to.
you used to like
More. Yeah, I don't really anymore.
we're like really into it, or like yeah, I'll listen to them.
I listened to a
Okay.
couple albums.
There's a couple. Which ones?
Like their most recent one, like from like 2015.
Oh man, I forgot what that one was.
I really like their
I heard
first
about
EP.
it,
The what was the first one? It was Hammer Smash Face.
Oh, Hammer Smash Face. Yeah, I know what
it
you're
was
talking
that
about.
one.
Yeah, that was I like that one. That one was one of my
I would
favorites
listen
too.
to that a lot.
So, how would you say the songs have like help? Did it help with your anxiety? If you have anxiety, or you're just like
The ones back then?
Yeah.
Back then, fuck. I never really got the whole this music saved my life type shit. I always thought that was like since
it was
everyone
just
did
dope.
it, everyone did it at the time. So it was like you don't know who was being legit and who was just like trying to get attention. So
Yeah.
like I just didn't like anyone who said it because it like ruined it. The whole purpose of saying stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't into that type of stuff.
What about like right now? Like if you
Yeah,
listen
like
to
right
any
now.
type of songs
How
that
would
you
it
listen
make
back
you
then,
feel?
how would it
Like,
make you feel?
Uh,
go back like Remedy,
like whole ass nostalgia trip. I would fucking shake my ass to fucking Blood on the Dance Floor. I don't give a fuck what you said. When I was when I was 10, those hoes were some bangers.
Those some recaps.
Oh,
Some highlights.
So like from the music you listened to when you were like preteen,
Yeah.
how does it like correspond to the music you listen to now?
I can keep going for a while.
Oh, keep going.
You are gangster.
Then eventually I started getting into metalcore, like I said. Then I honestly don't remember what I was really into my 8th grade year.
That's a blur.
Yeah, that is a blur with music. But I started getting into like Warped Tour type bands, mainly the metalcore stuff. And then I remember my freshman year, I really got into deathcore and SoundCloud rap.
Oh,
Huh?
what kind of bands in the deathcore?
Chelsea Grin,
I heard about them. Yeah,
Whitechapel.
I heard Whitechapel.
I got into Chelsea Grin.
I need a refresher.
I got into
Going
Chelsea
on.
Grin. I first heard him a couple years ago. I forgot which album it was, but I have it. I should have it. But Chelsea Grin, I fell in love with one of the music, and then that's it. That's
That's
it.
the same with me with Whitechapel. I know
Yeah.
I forget their most popular song, but that's the song I got into. I mean, that's when I was like, no.
I can see that.
Where was I?
Awkward moment.
Chelsea Grin.
I was also into like Job for a Cowboy and Thy Other's Murder.
I love Die Hard's
Die Hard's
Murder.
Murder. I can go
pretty
back
much
to that.
anything like that.
Well, I think that's the band that dropped the newest album that I've been listening to, right? It has like a wolf as an album cover, I think. If I'm not correct, I think it is, right?
Yeah, the newest one. Yeah,
Yeah, the
that's the
newest
one
one.
with that wolf. I
Yeah,
don't remember
that's the
what
one
it's
I could
called.
listen to the whole album over and over.
I haven't checked it out, but
It's,
I'll definitely
Excuse
will.
me.
Jesus Christ!
Wow.
Oh my God,
You okay?
Fabian.
Jesus!
I give that an 8 for
An
loudness. It needs to be longer.
Oh, I could have.
Yeah, was it the album is called Dear Desolation.
Desolation.
Yeah, and right off the bat, the first song "Slaves Me on Death."
Uh-huh.
That's the one that gets me hyped, and then I'm just like ready for the whole album.
I'll
Not whole,
definitely
but
check it out now.
Yeah, it's real good. We can listen to it when we leave.
And then my second semester of freshman year, I really got into Young Lean.
Young
If
Lean.
y'all
That
ever
sounds
heard of
familiar.
Young Lean.
I never heard of it.
That sounds familiar.
It's like,
Like I seen that somewhere.
Ha.
y'all ever heard of like Sesh Hollow Water Boys?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Doesn't ring a
No?
Not
bell.
at all.
You're the
It's
only
like,
one.
where are you?
It's like
Where are
OGS,
you?
it's OGS SoundCloud rap. Like before what
You're-
we have today, they're like the originals
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
from like
I get it now.
2013, 2014.
I wasn't big into it.
I wasn't big into
Yeah,
that
nobody
either.
was. It wasn't cool yet.
I wasn't aware.
I didn't know. I didn't know what SoundCloud was back then.
Yeah.
2013 was like my metal days.
Yeah, I didn't get into
Yeah,
it
same
until
here.
2015, so I was a little late.
When I was
I don't even want to
into
say
that.
what I was into then.
What were we into?
Let's not discuss that. Anyways.
And Vaporwave. So much Vaporwave.
Vaporwave.
Freshman and sophomore
Why
year.
does that sound so familiar?
Is there a big then?
You ever heard of Macintosh Plus?
No.
I did.
No, I know Vapor.
I think I did. Macintosh.
Plus.
What? McIntyre.
I think I listened to a little bit of Vaporwave
Uh-huh.
into like my junior year of like high school when everybody was like, "Oh, it's whatever."
I don't know, but not a lot of people were into like it wasn't it was never mainstream, but it's definitely influencing music today. But where was I? I got lost.
Sophomore year.
Sophomore
Yeah,
year.
it's the second
I
semester.
don't remember anything sophomore year.
Now maybe.
Oh, now I remember sophomore year. Sophomore
Now
year.
he does.
Now I got the magic. No.
Sophomore to junior year, I really got into like indie rock.
Indie rock.
Yeah, mainly
Yeah, like the 1975.
No.
yeah.
Emo.
I listen to Imagine Dragons.
More specifically, like emo, Midwest emo, Scrams. which it's something.
I heard them before. I actually have a song. I saved one of their songs.
No, Scrams is a genre.
Genre?
Yeah.
Oh, no, the one was it? Scrambles. Okay.
Scrambles.
The Scrambles.
Yeah,
'Cause, like,
scrambled
That's,
eggs.
you know how-
no, that's the one with the Asian dude on top of the world, and the world's pink,
Mm-hmm.
and the background's blue. That's the Scrambles. That's what I was
no.
trying to remember. That's what I remembered about. Sorry, my bad.
Rude.
Because usually, like, there's a legitimate genre called screamo, but you know how people always call like anything that was screaming a screamo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like just to make it, you know,
On its own genre.
yeah. So like people know what you're talking about of the actual legitimate genre. Just call it like scrams, because screamo has been tainted. The word screamo.
So scrims is.
It's labeled now.
I think what scrims is rap, right?
Scrams? No, it's screamo.
No, but I know.
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
talking about.
But no, this is a different type.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about too.
I go ahead and talk.
I
about
got
that.
really into like Page 99 and Orchid.
I know.
Yeah.
I know Orchid. I know. I heard of him before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they're really good. And
This is all new music to me, dude.
yeah.
I'm about to start jotting this thing down.
we
That's
got-
more than you know, Robert.
Dude, I could talk about this all night. A lot of this I got from my friend Greg too. Like usually, me and Greg have like been friends since 7th grade, and we listen to the same type of music, but different bands in the same type of music.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you got all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see. I can see that you're like more branched out
Yeah.
than we know.
Yeah.
Got deep roots.
You
Yeah.
got deep roots.
I've listened to a lot of music in my high school.
I believe it. I'm just like I don't branch out that much.
Yeah.
But right now I am though. I am branching out a lot more than I
Mhm.
usually will, because I'm going to like what's that band called? Oh man,
Brain fart.
Yeah, it's brain fart, but it's I forgot.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. It's that one band, right?
Oh,
Fave.
the band who didn't.
Oh no,
The one that's about to be in concert,
It
right?
has a-
The band that released an album.
no, it was
The one with the
album
hit.
cover. The album cover is a dog. It has a brown dog on
Oh,
it.
dog.
Yeah, and then you asked me about listening to
That's
them.
still not
Or
specific.
was it you that asked me to listen to
I
them?
don't think so.
I forgot which one it was. I forgot what it's
I
called.
don't think it was me.
It has something that had like kids in the name or something like
Kids?
that. Yeah, or I don't know. It has something
Yeah,
like
I think
kids.
they did a cover for the other band.
Man, you know what? You know what? I'm
It
gonna look
was
for
almost
it.
similar to the other one, but it wasn't.
I'm gonna look for it now. Screw ya.
Right, Marco's looking
Oh
for
wait,
it.
you said it
Yeah.
was with the dog, right?
You know what, Fabian?
No, I'm
Not
being
playing
for real.
games.
No, you said it was with the dog, right? Was
Yeah.
it on the corner?
No, wait. I think so. Yeah.
Ludacris?
Ludacris.
Snoop Dogg.
I think I
Anyways.
think I remember seeing something like that, but it was on Twitter.
All right.
I mean, I still don't know what it is, but
Oh.
So back to.
Come
So,
on.
what about junior year? No.
oh,
I'm just
I
joking.
totally forgot to bring up an entire like huge thing.
Part.
Era.
Knocked loose.
Oh,
Knocked loose. Yes,
Yeah,
that's what they're
Knocked
called.
Loose.
Yeah, knocked loose. That's what it's called.
Yeah, I got into them. I think freshman year.
Freshman year.
Yeah, that was my first like thing, like step into like hardcore music.
Yeah, I heard them sophomore year.
Sophomore year.
I see why y'all get along.
Right.
That shit
It's
was
similar
hard,
music.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
And-
I started listening to more of like Thars murder like that.
I gotta backtrack a little bit. Back to 8th grade year. I discovered black metal.
Yes.
And let me tell you something. I went in the deepest rabbit hole ever with black metal. Like it all started with like Immortal, the band Immortal.
Oh my god.
And that would have to be like my like favorite band of all time because they were
hard.
really like the band that got me into music, like learning how it works and like wanting to like play music and everything. And then other black metal bands that I would listen to was like Mayhem, Satanic Warmaster.
I know those. Yeah.
I know
Disaster.
Mayhem. I used to
Mayhem.
listen to Mayhem.
Yeah,
Mhm.
sick. I saw Mayhem.
Oh, it must be nice.
Lucky. Now, I got into it like my freshman year.
Mhm.
So like I'm a year older than you, 2 years older than you.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you were going through it, I was going through it, basically. But I didn't really get into black metal. I was more thrash.
So into it.
I got into black metal not too long ago, about a year and a half ago. End of junior year. End of junior year. That's when I started getting more into it.
Let me do another refresher because there's so many bands that I can't think of them off
Like-
the top of my head.
Like that's when I started to get into like the more hardcore metal.
Uh-huh.
When I first listened to Kubla Khan live.
Yes, Kubla
Yeah.
Khan's dope.
I saw them at work last
Saw them
month.
at work.
Last month.
My uncle Junior opened for them here in Baytown at the open mic.
Oh yeah, I heard about when they used to play here.
Dude, they were so awesome. A dude in the
Yeah.
mosh pit literally got slid across the floor and went to the other side of the building.
Bro, I was there.
No, you weren't. Don't
Dude,
lie to us.
it was. I mean, the building is so small.
Mhm.
It's like half of the building about the size of this room, and they were just like right there. And then I remember, what album did they play? They sold their
Probably
CDs.
their
Album.
first one.
It was probably the yeah, Youth War. It was Youth War. They were playing Youth
Yeah.
War. They were playing Youth War. Remember that?
I wish they still played shows around here.
I know, dude. Oh man, it was so good. My ears were ringing afterwards though.
Really?
Yeah, 'cause it's such a confined small
Uh-huh.
building. They're literally 20 feet away from you.
Uh-huh.
They're on the same floor as you, and it's really loud. But it was so good though. But then my favorite time from that night was when right before my Uncle Joe was getting off stage, a guy got near him in the mosh pit, and he just literally just turned around and kicked him away while he was still playing his guitar and his solo. And then my uncle he's a big dude. Like you guys, Robert, he's a big Mexican. Like his hand will cover your face.
Fuck.
Yeah. But Kubla Khan was really good. That's when I got into more of what you're listening to now.
Yeah.
That's what really opened it for me.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I fucking loved black metal for so long, and I still really do. I love shit like Burzum Ciudad, which is weird how to spell because it's Tsjuder, but it's pronounced Ciudad.
It's Latin.
No, it's
Swedish?
Russian
No.
actually.
Huh?
It's Russian actually.
Russian. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was like, if it
You
has
said
dots, it's
TSJ?
Icelandic.
Yeah, TSJ.
TSJ.
So just okay.
So yeah, whole lot of black metal stuff, from like 8th grade to like even now. I said vaporwave.
He's just going down the list.
He's like, did I finish this?
I finished this. I finished that.
No, if you listen
Uh-huh.
to newer, like heavy metal type stuff today, like let's say the newest Metallica album.
I never liked Metallica,
Or like the
honestly.
newest 21
Yeah,
Pilots
I
album.
don't like a few of their
That's the
stuff.
first.
I don't like a few of their stuff. Like the Black album, I like a few of their stuff in the Black
I
album.
don't like any of
That's actually the first I've heard somebody
Yeah.
say they don't like Metallica.
it.
It's
Yeah.
either you
don't like
listen
heavy
to it
metal?
or you
Uh-huh.
know
do you,
about them.
You like heavy metal, right?
Well, I mean, not like.
21 Pilots, yeah.
I fucking love 21. Not really.
666 Mafia? Yeah!
Hey. That shit slaps.
Alright, so I mean, here we talk about like being like anti-society sometimes. So like, I know your music sometimes is anti-society.
I was really fucking depressed my sophomore and junior year, so that's where I would get all this scram stuff from. Plus, like a lot of black metal. I'll listen to what's it called? Fuck, I don't know what it's called.
Is it band?
Silencer,
Oh,
which is
Silencer? I know you're talking
depressive black metal,
about.
and like
Well,
you
It's
show that
more
to,
depressing.
you
really
show
is.
that to any, if I showed that to any of y'all would think like y'all didn't know me, y'all would be like, you should belong in like a mental facility.
Debatable.
Have you heard of Silencer?
No, but I listen to some pretty weird stuff. I'm just like going back
I
to
mean,
it.
I wouldn't mind listening to it. I've never heard
Damn,
of
I
it.
hope I can remember the other.
We
band.
could do it afterwards.
Yeah.
So like we were saying, like I know your songs, like most of the music you have listened to, like it's society doesn't really like.
Yeah.
They're really against it. Like, oh, you're
Uh-huh.
listening to what devil's music or like satanic.
Or
You
not
worship
society, but
him.
religious wise.
Especially the black metal.
Black. Well, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, I see it like metal. It's a voice for the people that does not have a voice. And I was wondering, how do you feel about the music that you listen to and how it plays with like
The way you felt.
like how you felt like I know high school is brutal like freshman year and sophomore year. How did it help you through those times, like being depressed, and like did it help you, like was it like a cry for help, or was it more
Was
of
it
like
escape just for
Whenever I really got into deathcore, I thought I was some fucking badass type dude. I thought I was like
You were on top of everybody.
Yeah.
So it was like a motivation.
I was like,
kinda.
you guys don't fucking listen to deathcore. You guys are a bunch of fucking pussies.
Yeah. You ain't about it.
Basically, it just motivated you a little more.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was some cool guy, even though like nobody fucking talked to me.
It gets you pumped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it got you pumped. Yeah.
And then, whenever I got into like SoundCloud rap and vaporwave, I smoked a lot of weed. So I was really on that fucking like.
It's some good shit.
Yeah, that good shit.
Was it when you first saw me in junior year?
What's up?
When you first saw me?
Wow.
Jesus. What type of music did you think that I listened to from you? The first time you looked at me.
Oh no, I probably didn't care. Honestly, like I didn't care
I like
about
this guy.
anything.
I like this guy.
He's
Hey,
really
he-
honest.
we think on the same level.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really like anybody. I didn't care to know anyone. Honestly.
But I care to know you.
You cared to know me. That's
because
for sure.
I liked you.
Marco
Yeah.
just sticks. It doesn't.
Yeah,
go
I was
away.
like, damn, Marco really out here like making an effort for me. And I'm like, oh, I like.
He
this
holds
dude.
me.
He actually cares.
Yeah, he actually cares.
So thank you for the insight on your music journey, and I hope the music that you kind of like listens to in the future helps you a lot more with your stuff. Vani, we gotta go to you because I know your musical journey is way different from all of us.
I'm the youngest.
Hold on, wait.
I mean,
Make my tissues. Where's it at? I don't have my tissue box.
because out of everybody that's here, like me and Fabian listens to similar music, and Marco and Kevin listen to similar music. Vani, it's on a whole different level. He listens to music that we don't listen to, like not even relatively close. So
I mean, when I was younger, it was the 2000s, like rap, the 50 and Eminem, and still coming up like Dre, all those old schools. I mean, I was down with it, but then later on in life, you get hit with some stuff. It'll get you. I started moving on to more of sad songs. Again, 21 was 21 Pilots were like a new area that I wanted to explore. I got into rock. That led me to
what type of rock?
What type?
Okay, sorry.
What type of rock? To be clear.
I used to say
I'm
punk.
thinking-
There's a lot of punk rock. I can't name the people off the top of my head, but there's a lot of punk rock that I like listening. Either if it was skating, or like you just the rad dudes on the side. Those dudes. I don't know. It's just like a lot of that.
Because when you say rock, I think about like AC/DC. Like
Oh yeah, no punk rock, and then AC/DC comes like a little bit later once I start getting into like full on like middle school 8th grade, and I was like Queen, AC/DC, a little bit of Metallica. What was it? It's like if I can't name the things off of I can't name the songs off the top
it's hard
of
to
my head, but
remember.
it's like I know like that's what I like listening to. Those are my emotional days. That's when I started getting into a lot of indie rock. Who was it? 1975 was like when I was the saddest. Indie rock. Then it was it was indie rap. Now it's indie rap. It's Gus, Rex. Well, there's not rap. It's just it's a good thing for me that I like listening to. Gus, Rex. It was Claire. You said it was Claire, right? Claire.
Yeah, like Claire.
Those are a good like segment of what I'm going through at the moment. Beach Fossils is a new person, the new band. That's
I'm glad we
found
them. It was something we just stumbled upon.
It was a
just like
suggestion. They're suggested, and I was like, hey, I'll just add them up. And I kind of felt down this week, and I was just listening to them. They're super good, recommended. But yeah, I was more into like I'm more mellow.
the mellow music.
Yeah, I really don't like that. I'm rocking out, or
Let's break things.
I'm sipping lean or whatever. I'm not that type of dude. I'm chilling. I'm mellow.
Just wanna chill.
Yeah, that's honestly all I want to do is just chill and listen to music. That's basically me.
I'm down for that.
Just living the simple life.
Yeah,
Simple.
that's all I want to do. Just me.
That's good.
And then
So-
like back to I got a question for you as well.
Yeah.
Does the mellower music help you out a lot more? Because most of us we tend to listen to like harder stuff from what we're feeling inside most of the time, but the lyrics tend to be like really sad. Is the music for like mellower music or sadder or tend to be happier?
Both actually. I don't know how it benefits me, but if it's some type of song that has a good guitar or a good drummer, I tend to go on the instruments rather than the singer. So if it's like say if it's like a really good beat, it'll be a happy beat for me. But if it's like a really slow beat, it's like a sad song. Yeah, it depends on how heavy it's going. Like if it's fast paced, I'm down for it to be happy, and then slow paced, sad, because it's just like the piano and the guitar and then
The violins kick in.
Oh man, I'll tell you some Bach. I listen to classical music too.
Who got you into classical music?
Yeah, Nelly. Nelly. There was a movie. I forgot. It was some Wizard Apprentice, some stuff like that.
Sorcerer's Apprentice?
Yeah, there you
Sorcerer
go.
Apprentice.
Yeah.
There you go.
So he was in the ring that he's in, and he shows off his little magical thing, his little electrical thing.
The Tesla cords? Yeah, I know what you're
those,
talking about.
and that song came on, so it got me into it. I was like, who?
Which one was it?
I forgot what song I know you're talking
It was
about.
Bach.
Bach, the most famous one, right?
Yeah, it's number symphony or something.
forgot about
Symphony number whatever
I
it's
don't know,
called.
yeah, but I'm into classical music. Frank Sinatra.
Hell yeah.
I can buy some Frank Sinatra.
Ooh, I'm telling you, I go 50s, 60s. It doesn't even matter to me. Elvis, man.
What was the other one? Johnny Cash?
Johnny Cash.
Johnny
Johnny
Cash.
Cash, man. I live by what he says. It's like he's like the next gen Bible for me.
The Newer Testament.
The Newer Testament. No, if you think about it, Johnny Cash was such a good dude. Bob Dylan too. It's like he's such. They're such good artists, country artists, whatever. They meant something to people, and I feel like that's where we're losing it. I feel that's why I'm into mellow music. That's where I like where everybody's just talking and just like hearing what they're saying. Like, listen to what your people are saying. So that's where Bob Marley comes in. Johnny, right? Bob Dylan,
right?
And then it was just that figure they're speaking. They're actually telling a story rather than just I drink lean, pop pills, and shit. Normal shit.
You feeling like a rock star?
Yeah. But I don't know. I like I rather hear storytellers than wannabes.
Agreed. I guess it comes down to me.
Feel that.
Oh boy.
You're
And that's
gonna
the
get
end.
so
And that's the end of the podcast, everyone. Thank you for listening today.
No, I think I have a really long. I'm like Kevin. Like my music varies. Like
It goes
so
everywhere.
much.
I wasn't even done, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, I can go on and on, like what Kevin was saying. But I can start from just like when I was growing up, it was all modern punk rock, because my brother listened to punk rock. So it was like Green Day, Sum 41, Good Charlotte. Around that general area, like Boys Like Girls, like that's what I grew up listening to. And then from there, I went to like Marilyn Manson. I remember when Marilyn Manson dropped. Was it? Oh, wait, I forget the name of that song. His most popular song, Sweet Dreams, basically.
Yeah.
I remember when that dropped, and that from Marilyn Manson was Slipknot. So I started listening to Slipknot around beginning stages of Subliminal Verses, because I used to, it was like a little bit of Iowa, a little bit of Subliminal Verses. So that's when I first started listening to like actual rock.
Didn't you say your favorite was Iowa?
Iowa was my favorite,
Mm.
just because I like that heavy, like where basically with Slipknot, like the first album was good, but the second Iowa was just so gritty, so like it's in your face, and you're just like okay,
Yeah.
this just breaks up.
I think the first album was probably the best in my opinion. It was just so
I mean,
iconic
Just
for its time, especially.
Wait and Bleed.
I'm just.
Yeah.
Eyeless.
No, like not just Wait and Bleed, like
Yeah, the whole album.
the other songs in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I mean, my favorite's Eyeless on that one.
Yeah.
Eyeless is
Eyeless
is
My favorite song on that
Yeah.
album. But like that's where I started listening to like when I got into rock, and then after listening to Slipknot, that was ended rock. Everything was straight rap. Well, basically Eminem, 50 Cent, Lil Wayne, and then like Houston rappers, the chopped and like all that chopped and screwed. DJ Screw, Paul Wall. I met him twice
You met him?
at a Wingstop.
Dude.
Twice.
Oh, dude. Alright, let me tell you a story. Y'all ever heard of Nails, the band?
No.
Nails? Yes,
Yeah.
I heard about
Dude,
Nails.
I saw Nails last year
Uh-huh.
at White Oak. And like there's, I don't know if y'all ever been there, but there's a big room downstairs and a smaller room upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And Nails is like hardcore power violence, really fast,
Yeah.
really hard. Like it's just like a wall of noise in your ears. It hurts. When you first listen to it, it hurts.
Right.
And downstairs in the big room, Paul Wall was playing. So my ass had to go down there after Nails.
After Nails.
Hell yeah, that was a good night.
Oh man.
Yeah, but that was like the early 2004, 2005. Paul Wall came out was that song Girl. Girl. I forget the lyrics.
Oh, girl,
Let me down. I remember when that song came out. I remember when that song came out. So like that hard transition between rock and rap. I was like, maybe they can find a division between those. So like when I was going through 5th grade to 6th grade, it was just like a mixture of just rock music. That was not new rock music. It was just like basically I was listening to the same thing, like Slipknot. Basically listening to Slipknot, and just like it was just basically just Slipknot and a whole lot of rap. So like I had to go back to like Notorious B.I.G., Tupac, Big Daddy Kane. Oh, one of my favorite rappers, Big Daddy Kane, and Rakim. Love Rakim. Run DMC.
Don't forget Biggie Smalls.
No, oh my gosh, no, I already said his name.
I know.
So
That was the joke
like,
on me.
Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. So like all my middle school Wu-Tang. Oh my gosh,
Wu-Tang. I can't forget about Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang Clan. So like all my middle school years, it was just rap, like old school rap. I didn't care about like Lil Wayne, when Drake came out. I didn't really care about like that type of music.
Ice Cube.
Easy, well NWA,
NWA.
So like all that.
Split Ice Cube from
Even
NWA.
was it Sugar Hill Gang? I even went that far back to listen to rap music. Oh, alright. So like my middle school years was just like straight rap music, like old school rap.
Yeah.
So like until I got into 8th grade, where I was like, you know what? Let's listen to rock music again. So like I got introduced to like Crown the Empire when they were barely coming up.
Yeah,
I think it was Limitless, their first album. Limitless was their first album. I remember that. And then Of Mice and Men was big. And then like We Came as Romans. I'm trying to think of like, all the top of my head. You Came as Romans. It's another big band I used to listen to.
It's just so much.
It's just so much to think of.
Yeah.
And then after like 8th grade, it was just post-hardcore. Anything I could get, it was like it said post-hardcore, I was gonna listen to, no matter what.
Anything you can get your
You
hands
ever-
on.
You ever listen to Silverstein?
Silverstein. Why, that sounds familiar. Oh, Silverstein's a rapper. I know there's a rapper named Silverstein.
There's also a band.
Ben, really?
Hardcore band named
Really? This
Silverstein.
is weird.
Yeah.
Really, this is weird. Because Milo has a rapper named Silverstein.
Uh-huh.
And one of his songs, if I remember correctly, yeah. So, I don't know. I don't think I have.
No?
No, but post-hardcore was like my freshman year. I was like emo. I had my beanies all the time. My jacket was black, and my hair was full of shit aside. I was trying to be edgy, be with the cool kids. You know, I was like, I'm gonna be rebellious, mom. I can do whatever I want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think with me in junior high, I was in high school. I was very diverse in high school. You know that. I was very diverse in high school. I was one of the jocks. I was kind of with the goth kids because I hated most of them.
I don't like anybody.
Yeah,
I still don't like anybody.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
what I
anybody.
was surprised about you. I was like, damn, this dude's like a football player fucking with me, and I was like,
It shouldn't be happening. What is this?
yeah.
Like,
Wizardry.
cause like a lot of people will put me in that area of the popular kids. Well, because
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, well,
I definitely did.
yeah, well, because I hung out with them. I hung out, of course. We were all close with each other. But I go everywhere though. Like you guys, anyone like I'll go from the jogs.
I'm
to,
the same. I
Yeah.
think that's why we get along. Cause like I was part of that football team. I was part of the dudes who always try to run things. But I would go to the side and just be like, hey, what's good? I was trying to make friends, new friends. I was cool. So they're like, what do you want? It was like I just want to talk. And they're like, yeah. I'm not like y'all. Like y'all, you still put descriptions now? I was like, are you assuming my description? Are you doing that?
No, but a lot of people never came up to me in high school. I was
because you were a jock.
I
had that all the time.
A lot of people.
I hated it. I like all of my high school. I was like, I don't want to be around people. I really don't. And everybody will come up to me like, hey, what's up? I'm like, do I know you? I don't even know you.
Yeah, it's like,
no, the problem was you didn't know them. You just didn't want to know them.
I didn't want to talk to them.
That happened all the time. You just give them, what's up, bro?
With me, how was people knew me.
I know that.
But I didn't know them.
Exactly. People would talk about me. I'm like, who the fuck are you?
Like, who are you?
Who are you?
Like,
Tell me.
You're like, you're the right guard in football, right? I'm like, yeah. I was like, I see you play. I'm like, oh, thank you.
You're
like,
right guard? I was playing
All
football.
right.
All right.
So, sophomore year where everything changed. Cause like sophomore year, the beginning of sophomore year, is when that's when I was talking to my girlfriend.
Ooh.
So it was all Daft Punk. I'm a big fan of Daft Punk.
That's when you found
That
love.
is-
That's when I was like,
That's when you found love.
oh my god, like
No, but
I remember.
Isn't that when you and Nelly?
That's when we
that
started
was
talking.
like-
So
yeah,
Daft
that
Punk
was-
was my first album that I actually was like, I cherished so deeply, just because it's something that me and my girlfriend first connected on. Because when me and my girlfriend started talking, we didn't like each other at all. I hated her actually. I had a burning passion. I was just like, I can't stand in the same room as you, just like that. And then Daft Punk was something that we connected on. We were listening to the same music at the same time. So Daft Punk was like there. I was like, you got me, bro. You got me. You feel me? And then from Daft Punk, it was like Nightcore. If y'all know who Nightcore is.
God, I fucking hate Nightcore.
Nightcore. I listen to a lot
If
of
there's any
Nightcore.
genre that I do not like whatsoever,
I never heard of Nightcore before.
You never listened to Nightcore? You're missing out. And Kevin's gonna be like, no, you're not.
Nah, man, just stay home, bro.
I was a big fan of Nightcore. Like at a while, for a long time.
Are you
Like I really liked.
Yeah.
He's disappointed now.
I'm going home.
See
I'm a big fan of Nightcore. And then like my second semester of my sophomore year, that's when I got into a whole lot of stuff. That's when I got into indie. So from indie, it was like, to me, it was like the Struts, Franz Ferdinand.
The Struts, man.
I like the Struts. The
Yes.
Kooks. The
The
Kooks
Kooks
were
are
pretty
good too.
big. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Anything with I was gonna listen to it. It was like the something was pretty big. Like when these were coming out. Like that's when I was listening to a lot of like indie mixing, and then that's when I fell upon Mumford and Sons, and then like Mumford and Sons' first album was my favorite album, and I put that in my top 10 favorite albums. People are gonna be like, "Oh, you don't know them." Not the first album. Was it their first album?
I think it was the first.
No, Babel was their second album. The first one was
It's all blurred.
White Blank Page, something like that. Their second
Oh,
album.
yeah.
So that one I was really into my sophomore year. That was when I was getting into folk, and then folk goes from Hozier, and then from Hozier goes to Iron and Wine, and from Iron and Wine goes to The Tallest Man on Earth. That's my whole folk. I even got I got all these albums like on record, so like I keep it like mental memories, just like listening to it. And then junior year and freshman year was just back to rap, back to indie rap. So all my junior and senior was just indie rap.
I was about to correct
And how
you.
did that benefit from your anxiety?
anxiety.
Or depression.
I don't know. I think the music I listened to is just how I felt at
the
that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Cause like
I
when I
forgot
was
to mention.
my freshman year, I was really like,
Uh-huh.
I was a very distraught kid. Just, I mean, I really didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to be with anybody.
Yeah.
I was like, I do not want to be here at
It's
all.
like I don't care for no one but myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I think that's how I'm gonna be this year. Leave me alone.
No, but oh, I have a question for you,
What's
Kevin. How do you feel about Trivium?
I never listened to True.
Hit and miss band. Hit and miss. Some good songs.
Yeah.
All of it. Some of it's just really
I
bad.
don't
Their,
think I've
their
ever
new
listened.
album? Have you listened to their new album?
Yes, I listened to the album.
I like the new album a lot.
I didn't.
Nah, I don't think I've ever listened to
It
True.
was only
Straight
3
off
tracks.
the
I like.
back, I did.
No, you were gonna ask me a question, right?
No, I was gonna add something because I feel with you about like the whole like you listen to what you felt like, right?
Right.
Yeah, I remember like how whenever I was like really fucking depressed, I would like sit in my bed, just play the music and just stare at my wall for hours.
Oh man.
I stare
Yeah.
outside. I can't stare at something blank. That's weird for me. It was just
I
like
don't know. Like I feel you on that because I used to do
Yeah.
that too. The thing is, I have so much shit running through my head that something that plain would just.
Mm-hmm.
I would be like, okay, think plain,
Do you
think plain.
do you tend to overthink?
A
I
lot.
always do.
Oh, me too. High
Wow.
five.
Overthinkers.
Overthinkers unite.
They're like, I used to get like, why you stressed out about a lot of things? I'm like, it's because I don't know. Like I'm an artist, so I'm always constantly thinking of new ideas, like new things to create. Like I'm always thinking like, okay, I can do this a million ways differently. So like if I'm like the podcast, like I'm always thinking about new things we could do for the podcast and how things we can change.
Yeah.
So like, oh, like, well, you shouldn't worry about it. We could do the same thing. Like, no, I always constantly want to make better content all the time.
Mm-hmm.
For us and people who are listening.
Like for people who are listening as well.
If
Thank
you
y'all
made
very
it this
much.
far, thank you.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank
Pour
you.
one, yeah, thank you.
Well, I mean, I like to thank all y'all for coming. You know, for the podcast and stuff. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, thank you for
For
having
coming,
me.
Yeah.
I live here.
Oh, you do look here.
And
Giovanni's next. No.
Hopefully we can have better things in the future, better gear. Like right now, that's what we're trying to get to make the podcast better. And you know,
I mean,
yeah.
to do
Yeah.
lives and stuff like that.
do live,
live streams.
Live
We
streams.
got
Streams.
live streams is in the
coming up.
future for sure, but
Mhm.
that's gonna be a while till we
Yeah.
get there. For now,
But
it's just to get into
You can
gear.
help us though. You can really help us. You can like, subscribe, comment.
Shout us out if y'all want
Please.
to.
For
Please
real.
put us everywhere.
We're not the type to say, you know, yo, go keep liking, keep liking.
No, but
do it
we will
because-
get big.
Yes.
We're making it big.
And plus, if you are part of the
Hopefully.
subscribers
No.
club,
They doing it big, boys.
if you are a part of the subscriber club
Thanks.
and this antisocial club, thank you for being a part of this.
If y'all will be, we will send pictures of Kevin's nipples into the mail.
Yes. Why me?
As a
I don't think
token,
it-
as a token of our
It has not been
appreciation.
confirmed yet.
These are theories.
It's in the work.
No, but yep. And again, applaud to our friend Kevin. Now,
Thank you.
thank you. Hopefully, we'll have you on one of our next shows again.
Oh, yes.
We can talk more music for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I can.
We still need to
Very.
continue this.
And we will get back to like segments on how to handle. Oh, I think we're gonna do we're thinking of ideas for later on this year. We're trying to help y'all benefit off of how to breathe techniques or do these things that help anxiety or depression, help you out during the day if you ever do have a panic attack. Those are coming in the future. So
Oh,
hopefully
we
say
put
that.
resources down in the description below.
Yes.
So like,
yeah, as well.
I've been putting what was it, the suicide hotline.
Yes.
If you need that, there's one heart support. Heart support stems from the post-hardcore bands. Like if you're really into metal, heart support. You can post on the wall about your anxiety. You don't have to put your name in it. It's gonna be anonymous. You can post, and great community. They help you with like anxiety and stuff. They help you like, oh, you can do this, or you can change things. Heart support's there as well. And if you're a vet, if you're struggling as a veteran, I will put some vets for PTSD as well. Cause my friend, one of my streamer friends actually was like, you should put some for vets. I was like, all right, I will. So everything's gonna be in the description below. Thank y'all for tuning in, and y'all have a good one.